Hello everybody and welcome back to our series of JavaFX tutorial vids. Today we are going to go over viewing tasks that we have inserted into our to-do list app. Now last time we learned how to insert into our app, so now we're going to be able to view those things because obviously if we insert it we want to be able to see it because we need to check what we need to do. So here I've already created my project, and here mine's called the do app view. Yours should probably just be called to do app still because you're not breaking it up into different things here. And I've created, the first thing I did was created a new page through which we will view our stuff. So let's just whip that open. Here it is, okay, FXML view page. And the things I've populated with are a list view, which that is going to actually have all of our things that we've inserted. A menu button that has a similar code to our menu item from last time, where whenever we click on a menu item it will populate this with the text of the option. So let's say title, for example. So we'll click on this and we'll click title. This will become title. This is like a sort by menu button. The whole point of this menu button is they can sort it by time, title, and location. Okay, so that's going to be happening essentially. There's a similar menu button for descending and ascending. And then again, here we have that same code to when they click ascending, it will change the text. Very common stuff. Then I have three buttons here: notes, complete, and edit. And I'll get to those later. Those won't be implemented in this video. Here we're just going to somehow grab from our database, put stuff in a list view, and be able to sort it using these drop downs. That is what we want to be able to do. So keep in mind here I've made FXID sort menu button is what it's called, sort menu button. This is called Ask Desk menu button. Again, ascending, descending menu button. And I have these private variables here as instant variables and instance variables. And likewise, I have one for the list view itself. Okay, and then I have one for the complete button for later, but you don't need to worry about that right now. Okay, and then I have some other instance variables here. String order by. That's just going to be the string that's available here for the most part, but we'll use it to create our query. And then there's the string for ascending, descending, and then there's the observable list of items. So let's just get right into the code for this. Okay, so here is what my code does right now. All right, so let's just have a quick run of it. Okay, username, password, here we go. View tasks. Okay, so now we have these tasks, and this is what's in my database right now. Here, let me exit out of here. Control C, sorry. 2D, and ours is called to do app view. Okay. Use some tab completion, right? You can hit tab to have it finish up. Okay, so we'll do SQLite 3. Dot open, it'll be first.db. Select all from tasks. Okay, so as you can see, this is populated with everything but the notes for this. See, because we have the title, notes is skipped, title, location, then notes is skipped, and then we have the time and date located here. And these are separated by tabs in the list view. So you might say, how did you do that? How did you fill this list view? Okay, I'm glad you asked. So I created a helper function. The first thing I did was create a helper function that populates our observable list called items. Just think of this as an array list. It's not what it is, but just think of it as that, okay? I create an empty array list, essentially. It's not what it is, but essentially. And then I call a function I call getTask that selects all the tasks out of the DB and then kind of fills our items array list with everything in the DB. Okay, so that's what this does. Fills the items observable list with everything out of the DB, keeping in mind the order by and ascending, descending. So this is going to be the real function we're worried about in this tutorial, right? And then here I just take the task list view and I set the items in the list view to the list that I created. So that's filling the list view explicitly. That's actually filling it. This is creating the list with which we fill it. Okay, so get task. We're going to, like whenever we access the database, there's some steps that we always have to take. Creating our connection statement, those are some of the steps. Okay, order by is going to be equal to the text of the sort menu and ask desk is going to be equal to the text of the menu button. So really, this is how I ended up getting the code, but I guess we really don't need these entries on the account that these are actually public. So here, or sort menu button, I believe, right, is private, but accessible to this function. So what I'll do is I'll just erase that now, because what's the point of having that stuff? Okay, so here, order by, this is what we're ordering it by, title, etc., location, stuff like that. Ask desk is going to be, ascending or descending. So I'm creating a SQL that will allow me to sort of get the things in the order that I want and display them like that. Okay, so we check what the order by field is filled with. For example, title. If it's title, lowercase, then I'm going to go ahead and set this variable equal to uppercase title, because that's what I need to use in my SQL statement. Okay, that's what I need to use in my SQL statement to actually query. So here, this is where I'm actually going to create my query. So like last time when we select, we have a result set that returns. Okay, and here I'm just printing, here I'm creating the statement. This you do every time, right? Here's the real important line. Okay, statement execute query, select all from task, order by, and then we order by the field that we've selected, plus collate no case ask desk. Now you might be wondering, what is this stuff? The stuff after order by is going to give us back our data in the order that we specified, and then here ascending descending is going to do it in either ascending or descending order. So the point is, let's just go ahead and run this query, run a version of this query, just so we can see what it does. Select all from tasks, order by, and we want it to be timing. Okay, collate no case ASC. Okay, and that will give us everything in our table in ascending order of time. Okay, so we start with the least time, aka the earliest time. So 2014, the 6th of October, the 6th of October, and then it goes up from there. So here we have the 15th of October at a different time. Okay, so I don't want you guys to get too confused. What's happening is I'm pulling out of the UI elements here how I need to sort my list view, and then I'm putting the result of that query into an array list, which I'm then setting equal to what is in the list view. Okay, anyway, so I'm doing that. I go ahead and, like last time, we go through our result set and we add the item. We go through the result set, we get the strings based on the different things that we've grabbed here. Okay, and then here's the important statement. That's why I put important statement here, where we have items.add, and then we have our title separated by a tab, location separated by a tab, timing, and then we just close our database, etc. So what this gives us, this populates the array list, sort of, not exactly an array list, but sort of items with the contents of our database in the correct order that we specified given our UI elements. So it's very important for you guys to understand what it's doing. So go back and and look at the code and understand what's going on. Then we just set our list view equal to, or we set the items in the list view equal to what we just populated. And that's it, right? So what happens when the person hits done? Now, see, I have a lot of other code here, okay? But when someone hits complete, or rather, hold on. Or what happens, rather, I guess, on load when we very first pull through is we refresh the list, right? So that means we grab, based on the defaults here that I've set already, See, I already have these as default as timer descending. It just goes ahead and it calls this function, which fills our items list with everything from the database in order as specified, and then we fill the list view with it. Okay, and now whenever we change something, like whenever I go, okay, ascending, I have code available for that. Okay, I have ascending, descending, menu, item, button on action, or menu, item, button, action. It's very long, but it's very uniform as well. Okay, let's go to that. Ascending. See how I have that in there? Ascending, descending, menu, item, button, action. So here what I do is I change the text as we've done in the past, right? I change the text, the same thing we've done on the last tutorial, where we take the menu item text and we set it equal to the menu, to the actual menu button text. And then I call that same function. So what it does is it then collects the list again based on what we just changed in the UI. So that's what makes it to where it sorts. Okay, so you know, here ascending, descending, you see how it changes? That's because we changed the UI and then we derive the list based on the UI right after that happens. Okay, so that's how we're sorting. So you know, this one, I know this is like drinking through a fire hose. It's very intense stuff to understand. I just suggest really that you guys download the code and understand what I just mentioned, and you know, make sure that you have your if you run into problems, make sure that you have things set up the same way that I do here. Like here I have the menu items here each have a corresponding thing to set the text, and then they call refresh list, and then here the list view is just being filled. So, all right, I'll go into further detail and we'll add more functionality in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching.